Hello, welcome back to another stream. Today we're gonna probably go ahead with the book. And as you can also see, finally I've been able to sort things out with the camera, that it is not too bright and or too overexposed to be a bit clearer. Audio is still the same. Been trying to work something out, but didn't really work in a way that I wanted it to work out. But maybe as well, we're not going to go ahead with the book, but rather going to talk about something else / go through certain articles, maybe something scientific. But we're going to see. We are going to see, Are we going to do something amazing? Well, if I can find that. There we go. There we go, And also gonna show you. And this is where we have stopped yesterday. Or the day before. I don't actually know, but I think it was the day before, yes. Must be. Kind of must be. Am I sharp? I kind of doubted a little tiny bit, for whatever reason. But here we go, I guess. Megapolitics of the information age, the triumph of efficiency over power. I think that's... No, we didn't go through that already, but still I wanna make it a little tiny bit bigger, since I do have some real estate on the right here. There we go. Megapolitics of the information age, the triumph of efficiency over power. The technology of the information age will make it easier to create assets outside the reach of typical forms of coercion, government or otherwise. Economic prosperity requires protection, and a big function of government is providing that protection so that economies can flourish. It is not an easy problem to solve. There will always be people who want what isn't there, and there will be a need to insulate yourself against them. An old Chinese saying, of all the 36 ways to get out of trouble, the best way is to leave. Well, it is actually kind of the case, Most often those options that are actually the best are the most simple one, the ones that we all know about, but we are kind of always trying to seek something new. We are kind of always trying to, try to find something, to find another way of doing things, to find another way of achieving things, even if we know that there is a very, very simple way to do so. But we tend to ignore things very often in general, and well, maybe not necessarily ignore, but we kind of understand that, well, in the end, by not seeing it, by, one could indeed say ignoring it, your life is going to be a bit better, as it is actually the case with, and, I guess climate change, climate regulation, also trying to protect the climate, also trying to protect our planet. People tend to really enjoy forgetting about it, and kind of, I think forgetting it is actually the best term to use here, I do not want to say ignore, because ignoring is like something that you consciously do, but I would really argue that we are not consciously trying to hurt our planet, but we just tend to forget about it, that it is the case, by whatever actions we might be taking, that it is a bad idea. Anyway. The information age will alter property, business and work in powerful ways. And I guess there are a few examples there. Information technology has negligible natural resource content. Information technology is highly portable, it is not reliant on one place, so a certain area doesn't have the same kind of control over it. GM can't pack up its car plants and fly off to another country overnight, but a software company can. Yes, because it is only data and it is transportable, actually fairly easy. What is going on there? I don't know, and I don't care. Is this actually lagging? Can this be the case? And I still have a slight feeling that let's actually try something. No, that's the wrong thing. What if I indeed use this one? Is it better? No. Well, at least it is fluid and whatnot, but good. But this is way better when it comes to just actually being able to see me and seeing me in a way that doesn't make you puke, I guess. Where have we stopped? Information technology lowers the scale of enterprise. Firms will be smaller and more agile with more competitors. Less opportunities for monopoly. Small enterprises means it will be harder to secure above market wages, since there will be more competitors and less controlled by employees. Unions lose their power. Information technology lowers capital costs, which will increase competition and entrepreneurship. This will also reduce barriers to exit, making it easier for companies to go under and less likely that banks will rescue and bail them out. Information technology has a shorter product cycle. Products will become obsolete faster, so any gains from extortioner above market wages will be short-lived. Well, that things are going way faster than we all were able to imagine, like a few years ago. I think it's quite clear, Every single year we're having multiple new phones. Every single year we're having the amount of software updates that we all get, whether it is the phone, whether it is the software that we're using every single day, whatever it may be, it is changing so incredibly fast, which on one hand is quite amazing, to be honest. It really is, because we are always just getting new features. We are always getting more efficient software. We are always getting this new type of stuff, and we all like new stuff. Let's be honest. We all like new stuff, unless the new stuff does not work as good as the old one, which quite often is also the case, to be honest. I do see the problem. The problem is this, I guess. Yes, might be. This might be the issue. I think. I'm actually not quite sure. And I might have messed up everything right now. Yes, I have. But I guess it is better right now, It might actually lead to performance being not as good. Well, I guess. For whatever reason, I do have a feeling that it is not sharp. And I would not like to actually have that, but I do not understand why. Because here on my screen, everything is sharp as it can be. But here it isn't. Might be due to whatever. Anyway, you can see me, and that is quite enough. I think it is amazing. The amount of software updates that we all get, the increased efficiency that we all get through every update, hopefully and potentially, and also the amazing way in which software can improve hardware is amazing. I mean, let's have a look at Google and their Pixel phones and all their algorithms and all of these things. This is insane. It really is. And when another phone, another hardware is having the same capabilities, of course, there's going to be a baseline of energy that you need to be having, of power that you need to be having, computing power, to actually use those algorithms, to use this software effectively and efficiently. But then you can just apply this to everything, and it is insane. It really is, I do also know that some people indeed use the camera app from those Pixel phones just because of the way it processes photos, which is incredible. But of course, there are certain limitations to software when you kind of, in terms of hardware. And of course, way better hardware is always going to outwork optimally optimized software. This is just the case. Of course, if you have both pretty good hardware and also very optimized software, then this is really amazing. Anyway, products will become absolutely faster, blah blah blah. Information technology is not sequential but simultaneous and dispersed. Unlike the assembly line, infotech can accommodate multiple processes at once. It is possible for people to work together without ever seeing each other, which is amazing if you think about it from a perspective of a company, Microprocessing will individualize work away from the standardized work of the assembly line. This also increases income inequality, since one programmer can write an algorithm worth millions, while another working at an identical laptop could create nothing of value. Resentment between those who create value and those who don't will increase as information technology proliferates. Low-skilled people won't be taken advantage of anymore. They simply won't be able to contribute meaningfully to the economy. Yes, this is definitely something that I see. I do not really get the problem with, I get the problem theoretically, but I do not understand why this is such something that you need to point out, that people that are not as skilled as somebody else in whatever field it may be, that they're not going to make as much money. Of course, a very small group of people on this planet have the majority of the money. If you just have a look at a list, and actually a few days ago I went through the list and I had a look at it. Might have also been 2 weeks ago, I don't actually remember. But very smart people, i.e. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they are all pretty high on this list. And this is a very small amount of people, and they still have billions and billions and billions of dollars and money. This just makes sense. We all have different strengths, and somebody is very good at whatever you are doing. Of course, and actually also hopefully, this person is going to make more money than you do. Obviously, this also comes down to, marketing yourself and just, being able to present the work that you're doing and whatnot in the end, which might actually be as important as the work itself. Still need to think about that, because I had to as well. But for me, this just makes sense. For me, this is just life, People are going to be better at something than you are, and this is what it is. The individual as an assembly, as our access to information technology grows, will be able to multiply our abilities by manifesting a potentially limitless number of agents to complete tasks for us. Whether they're humans or programs, one person's potential output will increase exponentially with technology. You could even continue acting after death. Well, I think still at this point, our output, not even potential output, but our output as it is, was increased dramatically through technology. I just think about design, If you think back in history and to those designers, to those graphic designers that we had back in the days, they all had to work, with their hands, with real paper, with, silk screen printing, other forms of printing and whatnot. This was incredibly costly, first of all, and very slow. At this point in time, we're just opening Photoshop, Illustrator, or InDesign, or whatever software that you're using, and we make something, we create something, and we can create millions of different versions of the exact same work. Theoretically, of course, Theoretically. Practically, probably nobody's going to do that. Whether this is better now for the craft itself or not is another topic and another discussion for another day. But our output increased really just dramatically. It is actually mind-boggling, to be honest. How much we all can do, how much we all can produce. As a professor of mine actually also pointed out, Andy Warhol, I think it was Andy Warhol, or maybe Da Vinci. I guess it was Da Vinci. I might be mixing up things, but he was also talking about Warhol. He said, well, back in the days, he was able to create, I don't know, maybe 100 prints in a year or something. But at this time, we can, of course, either reproduce or produce our own stuff. Also, by the way, with silkscreen printing, way faster, you know? Because back in the days, he had to just brush everything down and draw everything by hand. Of course, using machines and using automation techniques, quote unquote, it's gonna just fasten the process by such a lot. One key difference with the migration to cyberspace is that it's limitless. In the medieval society, the successful and rich concentrated in certain areas, but cyberspace doesn't require this. Instead, you can keep pushing out the boundaries and claiming new frontiers, and in doing so, pulling more resources away from governments and the physical world and into cyberspace. I would actually still argue that those really successful people and those really successful companies, they still are in, maybe not the same area, but they also tend to be in certain areas. You know, Silicon Valley, with a lot of startups and a lot of very big companies, which I don't know the exact place where it is. Anyway, you know, but I think this also kind of makes sense to some degree. You know, we all want to feel. I think that it more or less, unless there's some infrastructural things going on that I just do not know about, you know, maybe the internet there is always just the best and whatnot and the fastest. Could be the case, I don't know, I doubt it. But I guess it has something or has more to do with the psychological and mental game. Like, okay, I am at this place and so I am also a big startup or I'm also a big company. I need to be there, you know, because all big companies are there, which I guess is also sensible to do that to some degree. You know, also regarding your employees, are they going to be more motivated by being at this place? Who knows? Probably. I guess. I don't know. As virtual corporations arise, individuals will domicile their income-earning activities in a jurisdiction that provides the best service at the lowest cost. Sovereignty will be commercialized. Cyberspace is a great equalizer. No matter how many governments or how big of governments enter it, they'll be no more powerful than anyone else. The information war are more likely to break down the old systems than harm the new ones. The new ones will be more robust to their attacks. Well, probably, you know, as things just get better, more or less, or just at least change over time, and with revolutions and with things going on, it just makes sense, you know. And I at least also hope that this is going to be the case, that we're going to be able to better ourselves and better our systems and better the ways in which we do things regarding just various different things. I mean, I really hope that in the future we all realize that the whole climate thing is an issue, you know, and that we should be doing something about that. And I guess if very big companies come up with pretty great ideas, we can solve this problem, or at least kind of expand the time that we can live on this planet nicely, you know, without having to have fears and without having to know that in, I don't know, 10 years we're all gonna die because of whatever reason. So this just really makes sense. But I do also, just coming back to the whole point around companies being in certain areas. On the other hand, of course, there are certain companies that are somewhere, certain very big companies that are somewhere, and through cyberspace and quote-unquote cyberspace, through the internet, we all can connect, which is incredible. I mean, as good and as at the same time bad things can be, you know, technology as a thing, it is just incredible. You know, I can talk to, or I can basically see my mom that is living 100 kilometers away from me. You know, I can see her, I can talk with her, I can just, I don't know, call anyone on this fucking planet and talk with this person and just discuss things. This is like really insane. And of course, not everyone is capable and able and maybe even allowed to use this technology, but I guess this is also going to change in the future. Whether it is going to be like that, okay, we're going to have this quote-unquote new technology, we're going to have these new things and whatnot, and those in emerging countries are just going to have what we have now, or we all kind of just step up to the same level. I don't know, and I'm not an expert in that, but I do dearly hope that there's going to be more companies in the future that come up with great ideas around problems that just need to be solved. You know, obviously there is definitely also a market for products and companies and things that might be solving a problem, but a problem that is not that well important. You know, maybe not at least for me, and maybe not at least for society in general. You know, us as a whole thing. Of course, I'd also like to have a golden phone case. No, I actually wouldn't like to have it, but some people want to have a gold phone case, and those companies that are building these, they are solving a problem. You know, as quite everything is about problem solving nowadays in life. And well, maybe not only nowadays, but I think a big part of life has always been problem solving. But I would really like to see companies trying to solve important problems and trying to solve problems that just need to be solved, you know, things that we tend to forget, maybe ignore, I guess. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to see you next time.